Hey there. So this is the third video that I'm doing today for the Mahadasha series, part of the Mahadasha series, so the third video. So previously, in the previous video, I did mention how important it is to learn the entire spectrum of the 28 nakshatras. Even Abhijit is very, very important. So that after that, once you grasp the whole nakshatra spectrum, the constellation, the rasis, everything, and then you can start playing with astrology. Astrology is the most fun thing there is. It's not how all these people portray it to be, in popular culture, like you are going through Guru Mahadasha, going through Shani Mahadasha, or you have Shani in the seventh house, you're going to suffer during No, not at all. No, that is not what astrology is about. Astrology is so much fun. It's like a playground, and in order to enter that playground, you have to know your basic primary knowledge. Okay, so let's start off. In this video, I want to talk about how, this is the archetypes. So how a person's persona may surface, person's character, persona, psychology based on the nakshatra archetype in which the Mahadasha Lord is positioned or placed. Okay, I'll give you an example to put this into perspective, what I'm talking about, because this part of what I'm talking to you today is not part of conventional popular culture astrology out there. In the mainstream conventional astrology, it is not, because they just see house numbering and things like that, which in truth, let me confide in you, okay? I find that very boring. Don't tell them I said that. I find that very boring, very narrow, very limiting. And so I started observing I use this methodology, and I saw, it's kind of true. So if you want to check that out, you learn this method and apply it into your own life. Do that, and then observe for yourself how it works. Okay? So for example, let's see. Okay, so we have we take a Rishabham, Taurus ascendant. So this person, this native, is going through Guru Mahadasha. Alright, Taurus ascendant, Guru Mahadasha. Guru is in Pisces, in Meena Rasi, in Revati Nakshatra. Okay? So, Revati is ruled by Mercury. So now, you must understand. How do I show? Okay. So this is Guru. Alright? This fist is Guru, the planet Jupiter. Jupiter is moving around the zodiac and has stopped in this particular year in Meena Rasi, in Revati Nakshatra, when this native was born. In the nakshatra of Mercury. Revati is ruled by Mercury. So when this native goes through Guru Mahadasha, alright, which is a 16-year period, alright, that person is not just going to surface Jupiterian characteristics, Jupiterian traits, Jupiterian archetype, not to even forget, we haven't even gone into that. Revati Nakshatra, its deity Pushan, alright, or Poseidon, or Neptune, the co-ruler of Pisces, or Meena Rasi. We haven't even gone there yet, just playing with this in this small little puddle. So Jupiter isn't the only one going to manifest its characteristics, its traits, its persona, personality. This person may become more of a teacher or consultant or a sort of a guide, helping people, consulting people, counseling people. Jupiter is, Guru. You be a light for people. Okay? But it so happens, since it's in Mercury Nakshatra, this particular native will also exhibit mercurial traits, persona, character, and they'll bring that in their psychological comportment. All right, they will exhibit mercurial characteristics if you can observe this particular person. All right, so this is basically it. This is the concept. Now I want you to go to your chart, your natal chart, check out currently this year 2025, 2026, right? What Mahadasha or Sabdasha, look at both. Even the until the third level Antradasha, that means Mahadasha, Antradasha, Prayat, Antaradasha is very, very significant. All right, if you want to know how it works, you just have to observe. You can apply the theories, the principles onto your own life, and you would see it for yourself. Okay, one of the ways that you learn astrology is not running to the book. Of course, the first thing when you are initiated into astrology, you learn the basics. But once you grasp that, you don't limit yourself into books, but experience, observe. That is the part of the scientific method, is to observe, look at data. All right, look at case studies, look at people, study people and see what happens to your life. Interview them, what's going on in their life. And that's how you learn. Very, very minutely, every tiny detail, you learn through observation. Analyze it. Okay, so I gave you a little concept. Now I give you another case study under the same concept. All right, how you can analyze Mahadasha and understand a person's character, psychology during the particular Mahadasha. Okay, let's try somebody who, so the person we were talking about is a Taurus ascendant. So Jupiter is obviously 8th Lord and 11th Lord, right? And Mercury also is taken into account as the 2nd and 5th Lord for Taurus Rishabha Lagna or ascendant. So the person will experience life 8th, 11th, 2nd and 5th house events. Okay, and also particularly when you see this kind of Mahadasha combination, so Jupiter is sitting on Mercury nakshatra, so Mercury becomes very important. Now you have to find in the chart, in the birth chart, where Mercury is sitting, where Mercury is positioned. So if Mercury is positioned, let's say in the 9th house in Capricorn for a Taurus ascendant, then even 9th house becomes prominent. Like in terms of, we are making prediction for this native, so we take into account Jupiter Mahadasha, which rules 8 and 11, Mercury, because Jupiter is sitting on Mercury's nakshatra, so the root is very important. Okay, the root and the fruit. All right, so the root rules 2nd, is Mercury is the 2nd and 5th Lord for Rishabham or Taurus ascendant. So the houses 8 and 11, 2nd and 5th, and the dispositor Mercury is sitting in the 9th house. So all these houses would become significant during this Guru Mahadasha of 16 years for the native. Okay, now let's do a different another case study. Now let's take Cancer ascendant. Okay, very simple and very straightforward. Cancer ascendant. Cancer ascendant, Kadaga Lakanam. Let's take Shani, Saturn, sitting in Anuradha nakshatra. Anuradha is very simple because ruled by Saturn. Okay, so during the Mahadasha of Shani, because Shani is 7th Lord and 8th Lord for a Kadaga Lakanam, and situated in Anuradha, Scorpio, Virchiga, would just give usually 5th, because Virchiga becomes the 5th house for Cancer ascendant. All right, so it'll give 5th house events, 7th house because Saturn is 7th Lord and 8th Lord. Okay, Anusham was Anuradha was very simple. Let's try Rishabha Lakanam. Let's try Rishabha Lakanam. Okay, some other Lakanam. What about Miduna Lakanam? Okay, Gemini ascendant. Let's try for Gemini ascendant Venus Venus in Aslesha. Okay, Venus in Ailya Nachatram for Midhuna Laknam. So Venus is the lord of the 12th, 5th lord and 12th. Okay, sitting on Aslesha. Again, is a Mercury nakshatra, right? So Venus is now the fruit. The individual will exhibit Venusian traits, characteristics, persona, all right, during this 20-year period, but also not forgetting the base that Venus is sitting on Aslesha nakshatra. Mercury in Aslesha archetype would start to manifest and exhibit itself. Mercurial traits like sense of humor, intelligence, becoming very logical, analytical, calculative, being very shrewd, smart in a lot of matters, all right, very mercurial. And also the deity, Ananda Sheshnak, you must understand the archetype of Ananda Sheshnak. So this is why it is very important for you to understand and know the deity of each of the nakshatra. So once you know this, you can just go in and out and play with them. You know how to connect them, use them, left, right, center. Okay, it gets very fun. So Ananda Sheshnak, in order to give you like a prediction and talk about, I need to do a whole video. So Ananda Sheshnak, opposite of Shravana nakshatra, which is ruled by Vishnu, the deity. You see, it is that whole axis of Shravana and Aslesha. You have Ananda Sheshnak and then you have Vishnu. And we all know the story of those two best buddies. Okay, so Ananda Sheshnak is the Shakti of, is the whole Maya. Cancer is a sign of Maya. Capricorn is reality. But of course, the scope of this topic requires another video. Right now, I'm just talking about Mahadashas. And I think I don't want to go off tangent here, right? Because I'm very prone to doing that. I'm just going to keep myself disciplined in one topic. All right. I am a frog jumper when it comes to topics. Can't stay and be disciplined in one topic. I need to do meditation for this. All right. Yeah, did I mention everything? So the position of the nakshatra lord is very important. So in this case, Gemini ascendant, Mercury rules the first house, the fourth house. And where is Mercury sitting? Let's say Mercury is in the 10th house in Pisces. That's debilitated, but still terms and conditions apply. But anyway, that's outside the scope of this video. So Mercury is in Pisces, let's say for this native. Gemini ascendant, Venus Mahadasha. Venus is, let's say, in Aslesha in the 2nd house. Okay, so we take into account the native Mahadasha prediction. 2nd house things, so family, finance, food, things like that. Right, person may even do some kind of family business, can be, all right. So 2nd house, because Venus is in 2nd house, Venus Mahadasha is going on for this native, Gemini ascendant. Venus is a lot of 5th and the 12th. Maybe he can travel to any foreign countries, settle down in a foreign country. And also has to do with the 1st house and the 4th house. It will start activating because Venus, Mahadasha Lord, sitting on the nakshatra of Aslesha, which is ruled by Mercury. So Mercury now also becomes very significant for this native. All right. So 1st and 4th house can deal with health, because 1st house is your physicality, is your physical body. All right. Is the original house of Mesham, which represents your physical body. So the 4th house is the original house of Cancer or Kadagam, represents anything to do with this area. Your cardiovascular system, your heart, everything related to the heart, home, all right, things of such nature. Maybe 4th house also deals with teaching, Cancer, that's where Jupiter exalts. So you can also be a nurturer. You can also be a teacher, a consultant, all right? Can look at it from this perspective as well. Okay, before we end, I want to do another case study. Let's take Libra ascendant. I have a little animosity with Libra ascendant. Anyway, let that be within my own secret self. So let's talk about Libra ascendant, okay? Let's assume the native is going through Mars Mahadasha. So for Libra ascendant, Mars rules the 7th house. Aries rules their 7th house. So Mars is 7th lord and also Virchiga. Second hand rulership with Pluto, 2nd house. But for Libra ascendant, when it comes to Mars, their 7th house becomes very powerful, as in very significant. Okay, Mars rules the 7th house, so he will give more effect and result pertaining the 7th house. 2nd house comes in is a lot less stronger. Okay, so what happens? So let's say Mars is in the nakshatra of Hasta. Okay, so for Libra ascendant, Mars is in Hasta nakshatra in Kani Rasi or Virgo. In the 12th house, Mars is sitting in the nakshatra of the 10th lord, Moon. Now, then we have to see where Moon is sitting. Let's say Moon is sitting in Kumbha Rasi, in the 4th house. All right. So for Libra ascendant, Mars is in Hasta and Moon is in Kumbha Rasi. This is just a hypothetical case study, and then later you can apply the principles in your own chart, your friend's chart, whoever, and have fun. Okay. So Libra ascendant, Mars Mahadasha. He can get married because the 7th lord, and also the 10th house because Mars is sitting on a Moon nakshatra, which is the ruler of the 10th house. So 7th and 10th. Native may involve himself with a career that is linked to running his own business. He can be working in the court, can be a lawyer, okay, can be involved in litigation, courtroom. 7th house represents courtroom, all right, whereas 6th house is more for the actual fighting kind of stuff. All right, but 7th house by itself is, well, Libra, right? The scales, Lady Libra. So, and it so happened our case study is a Libra ascendant. So can be somebody who is a lawyer or a litigator, right? Yeah, pretty much. But at the same time, because he's going through Mars Mahadasha, he would start to amplify Martian traits. Could be a fighter, could be very argumentative, never want to lose an argument, right? Then also now is in Moon nakshatra. This makes a person very emotional. So when Mars and Moon combination makes a person become very emotional, lot of anger, but also in Virgo. Interesting. So a lot of mercurial energy in there, right? You have to see the Rasi and nakshatra. So a lot of Virgovian mercurial energy is coming into place. Hasta is the place of Buddhan or Mercury's exaltation point. This makes a person highly shrewd, smart, cunning, calculative, very methodical, mathematical about things. So if he's a lawyer, it's going to be very good. Very good. He can go over very detail oriented, all right? Because when you talk about any kind of going into legal scheme of things, details matter. It can make or break somebody's case, right? 6th house or Virgo, because Virgo, 6th house, same thing. Also deals with a lot of animosity. When you have an argument, all right, things like that, things of such nature. So this kind of combination seems like a very, very it's a lawyer, sort of a person who works in the legal scheme of things, right? And also in the 12th house. Now the 12th house is a place of higher wisdom, okay, in the natural house of Pisces. And this combination, Virgo and coming into 12th house, is bringing in mercurial energy to the 12th house archetype, which is very, very interesting, because 12th house usually gives macro perspective of things, and Virgo gives micro perspective on things. This is the opposites. They are one axis, Virgo and Pisces, the 12th house and the 6th house. Okay, so if this person is in the legal field, having macro and micro perspective on things is such an added benefit. And now he's going to be having mercurial intelligence, like the ones I told you, being very mathematical, analytical, and shrewd. He can be a very cunning sort of lawyer, which is a good thing. Just a good thing. That's what, not in a bad way, in for the benefit of everyone, right? Now, the 6th house also deals with fights and intellectual fights, Virgo. All right. So, what are you doing in the courtroom? You're battling it out. So, disputes, to put in a better term, in a more intellectually friendly term, not to battle it out, but having disputes, legal disputes. So Virgo is a place of having legal disputes. So you do it in a intellectual manner. You fight in an intellectual manner. So having Mars in this position for this particular case study during his Mars Mahadasha, I think he'll be a fantastic lawyer. So that's how I can see it. So guys, I gave you 3 case studies, and I'm going to do more. All right, very hypothetical case studies based on the principles and theories that I've seen and collected, observed over time. Now you can go to your own natal chart and analyze your own Mahadasha. Mahadasha Lord sitting in which nakshatra, the nakshatra Lord and his position, and both of this planetary house position. Analyze all this, and then the deity, that's one step higher. I will make a video on that, but for now let's keep to the boundary. And yeah, I think it's very, very interesting to analyze how Mahadashas influence our psychology and how we exhibit our character persona based on the archetype Rasi. So just now we were talking about how Jupiter, a Taurus ascendant, had Jupiter in Revati Nakshatra. So how that person, native, can exhibit very mercurial character, because Revati Nakshatra ruled by Mercury. Neptunian, Pisces is ruled by Neptune and Jupiter. And Revati, deity, is Pushan or Poseidon. It's a very watery. Pisces is a place of macro thinking, higher wisdom. So you can see the person exhibiting a lot of wisdom, a lot of higher thinking and things like that. But more on Rasi as archetype in another video. But I hope you get the point I am trying to throw out to you today. Okay? So that's all for today's video, and I shall be making another one. The next video, I'm going to be doing a bit of exhibition. I actually, I like to study, I do study left and right. That means astrology one side, astropsychology, all right, and all these things, alchemy, Gnostics, esoterics, my interests. And the other side, I love studying behavioral neuroscience itself, cognitive psychology, the many different variation of psychology subjects, right? Psychology subjects. And what I like to do is I like to bridge the gap. I like to bring both the extremes together and find common ground between these two extremes, which a lot of people do not in today's world. Either they are extremely into astrology, or they are completely extremely into mainstream psychology, psychological sciences, behavioral neuroscience, right? Cognitive psychology, abnormal psychology, neuropsychology, which is basically more of a clinical approach to study brain and behavior after somebody has been cognitively maybe had a stroke or something like that. All right, so how to see brain and behavior post any kind of trauma, cognitive trauma or brain trauma, so like that. So these are my interests. I like this extreme and I love this extreme, okay? And I like to bridge them together, and it is so fun when you have both perspectives coming together, when you're right in the middle, right smack in the middle, and you entertain and you play with both extremes. They really give you a vast perspective into understanding our human behavior as a whole. It's beautiful. It's so much fun. And I don't like to perch like a bird on either extreme. I like to be at the center. So I hope I can entertain you more in the coming videos. I hope. I don't intend to lie. If I don't end up entertaining you, do you take it that I lied to you, that I will entertain you? Okay, I hope that I am able to entertain you in my upcoming videos, no matter how psychopathic, crazy, lunatic they may be. Remember, if a person is interested in psychology, only a thief can catch a thief. Okay, I'm joking. I am joking. Please. So, I hope they're not too crazy. Okay, I hope to see you in my next video. I really hope I can have some time and come here and sit down and make these videos. Till then, enjoy your Christmas and New Year. Okay, I think I'll put up another video and then we'll see you. We'll meet up again. Okay, I'm yapping away too much. It's already night. I guess I've not enough sleep. My brain is going wonky.